Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Koenigsegg Jesko in multiplayer in Asphalt 9 at 4 stars. I recently 4-starred this car because packs for it came out, got pretty good luck in them actually, and so I decided to test it in the Ghost season which was going on at the time. Now this is not a Ghost Slipstream season, it's just Ghost. Previously, I think when I tested this car at 3 stars, it was a Ghost Slipstream season, which is definitely the best sort of season for this car because with the Ghost thing, you don't have to worry about bumping into people as you are trying to pass them. And with Slipstream, it's a lot easier to get Shockwave toward the beginning of the race so that you can get up to your speed very quickly and hopefully just get ahead of a bunch of people and not have to worry about it again. But I wanted to try testing it in a little bit of a different season. And I thought doing it outside of Slipstream would be a very good test of how the car performs under more normal circumstances in multiplayer. Now, we still have ghosting, but that does a lot less, I think, for the car than does the Slipstream, and in my opinion, it just is a very nice convenience and doesn't really make the car more powerful per se. So let's see how my newly 4-starred Jesko does in the Ghost multiplayer season. In this first race here, we've done pretty well. We've got quite far ahead of the Fenner, which is the other car in the race. The Fenner goes around 270, so yeah, the Jesko is like 50 miles per hour faster than that. But in this next race, we're facing a Rimac as well as a Sheeran with some pretty crazy body kits on it, and this track I believe is the one in some of the S-Class Elite races, so I've had some practice on here. What's funny is on this track, a lot of the time I was able to get a better time with my Sheeran than with either my Jesko or my Tuatara, and I think now my Tuatara is even going to be at less of an advantage because I 5-starred my Sheeran, which yes, I will be making a video about soon as well, hopefully. It just costs so much to upgrade. I mean, it costs maybe 10 million or so to go from 4-star to 5-star, which is not cheap, and I have used a lot of my credits recently on purchasing blueprints in the Legend store for cars like the Huera, for example, which I think would be really good to have maxed. So I have 5-starred or done the equivalent upgrades of 5-star on the acceleration and the nitro of the Sheeran, which I think are the most important ones. It rarely gets to its top speed, and its handling is already really good, so I think it's pretty much as good as just completely 5-starred. So we'll see. Maybe I'll make a video with that. Maybe I'll wait until I completely 5-star it. But in any case, it's been great in the current full throttle season, which I will definitely be making some videos about, at least of the cars in it, because I just recently got the Carrera and the Vanda and the Genti and 3-starred the Jaguar CX-75. You guys know that. I've talked about that before, but all of those are in this season, so it's a great time to make videos about them. But something very, very interesting about that season, which isn't something I realized very early on, was that it's actually matchmaking based on car's rank, which is exactly what Asphalt 8 does, whereas Asphalt 9 typically, and in every single season since the beginning of the game, except for this one, has matchmade, or let's just say it did matchmaking based on player rating. And so in this season, if you go in with, say, a BMW i8 or an Aranera, you're going to find other ones of those cars, or the lower ranked Vandas and other cars like that, which go up to a much higher rank. But if you go in with, say, the Bugatti Chiron, you're going to be facing, well, primarily other Bugatti Chirons and Regueiras, which is the other really fast car in that season. Personally, I really like this because, number one, it was what we had in Asphalt 8, and so it was what I was used to for a long time, and what I was hoping Asphalt 9 would be, but also it makes it so that you don't have to use the Chiron and the Regueira when you get up close to the top of the multiplayer season. You could play in the i8 if you wanted to and keep going up in rating. Now, it is still probably recommended to use the faster cars because typically people that have a higher rating in the season that you will gain more rating from if you beat them will likely be in those faster cars. And so I wouldn't necessarily recommend using lower cars even in this season once you get up to a high rating. Like, I got to, I think, 100th position, and while I would probably face other i8s if I went in with my i8, most likely I wouldn't be able to gain very much rating, unless it also tries to pair you with people that have close rating, like Asphalt 8 does. It tries to pair you, obviously, with cars close to your rank, but then in the first 30 seconds to a minute or so, it only searches for people that are within 3,000 of your rating. Now, obviously, car rank and player rating work a lot differently in Asphalt 8 than in Asphalt 9. In Asphalt 9, you have a much higher range of car rank in the game, but in Asphalt Asphalt 8, you have a lot higher range of player rating. So typically, the range that I found in the Full Throttle season is within usually 200 car ranks, sometimes 300, but it doesn't usually get that high. So in that race, we had a three-way Jesko battle, which turned out being a very close race. And in this one, we're facing no Jeskos, but a Bailey Blade, which has been recently buffed in the handling, although not many people know about that because not many people have it. We also have a Trion Nemesis and a Rimac C2. I recently made a video about the Rimac C2 in Forza Horizon 4. It's decent there as well. It's definitely still got the speed at least. So recently in Asphalt 8, a new update has come out bringing a special edition of the Bailey Blade GT1, but also a new sort of multiplayer game mode called the Speed Trials. And I have tested it out and do plan to make a video about it. Basically, you get thrown into a room with 7 other random people, so just like multiplayer, except that you don't choose a car. You are given a random car out of a selection of maybe half a dozen or so around the 1230 rank, so including the newly sort of nerfed but yet made ultimate Corvette C3, you have the Infiniti, you have, let's see, the Mazda Furai, the BMW M3 sedan, and a few other ones, and you basically get several days to do up to 50 races in the season in order to get fusion coins as well as some lower level parts. Now, one thing to note is that the rewards for playing this are not all that great. After every race, no matter how well you do, you get some reward, so it's definitely supposed to be more of just playing to have fun, which is pretty cool, and I guess having gotten such a free-to-play game mode, we can't really complain too much about the rewards. That being said though, I do think it would be nice to get maybe some few tokens or maybe some tuning kits and stuff like that up near the upper level rewards, because we are getting some thousands of fusion coins throughout it, which are pretty nice because fusion coins are not easy to come by, but I do feel like it could be a little more. Really though, there's not much to complain about there. It's just a lot of fun, and yeah, you just kind of click on it and you're stuck in a race and you don't really have to do anything to plan. Everyone is automatically given a tuning kit, a nitro starter, and an extra tank, so you can test these cars to their full potential even if you don't own them. Now, one thing that I definitely do think could be improved or changed, I guess, is maybe allowing for different rank ranges as well in the cars, because right now everything is around 1230 rank, and so it does get a little boring after a while playing only in these 6 cars around this 1230 rank. Maybe just in other seasons, I'm not sure how they would do it, but having another range like maybe around 1700 or 1500 with the selection of cars around those ranks. I think that would give some very good variety to the season, so if Gameloft were to do that, and maybe make the rewards just a little better toward the top, I think it would be an absolutely splendid game mode to just have fun, and I plan to make a video about some of the best races that I had in it after I complete the 50 races in it. I'm almost halfway there, and I think I can do it within the next few days before the season ends. So we're coming up toward the end of this race against a Zenvo, who is not too far ahead. I knew that I was faster than the Zenvo by about 50 miles per hour, so I knew that I could probably pass him if I played my cards right. And thank goodness it was Ghost season, because otherwise I would probably have gotten knocked down because he landed right where I was. But thankfully it's Ghost, and I was able to pull ahead with the better speed of the Jesko and take the victory. In the final race of the video, we're facing a 4231 Rimac, which is 3-star, the same rank I have it at, where it's not particularly amazing. It's still fine, but you really have to get it up to 5 or 6 stars before it becomes really good, whereas the Tuatara and Jesko, because they're faster, can be quite good at just, say, 3 or 4 stars. But the Rimac, while it did go pretty close to me toward the beginning of this race, just wasn't able to catch up or keep up with me, I guess, throughout the rest of it, just because I was able to get up to a lot higher speed and just kind of left him behind. However, you will notice that a lot of times when you're driving a car like the Jesko, whereas you get far ahead in the straight sections, when you come to the twistier parts, like say on Osaka for example, sometimes you can almost get caught up to by a car that has a lot better handling. Trust me, that's happened to me on multiple occasions. So for my general review of this car, great multiplayer car, great car for events. I'd still consider it to be the king of the game along with the SSC Tuatara, because that speed just can't be beat. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you have enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt and other games content, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!